So potentially 46 restarts that you can have a defending opportunity to have. And that was that was something that I picked up and just thought that was quite an interesting stat and something that we don't really think about from a defending perspective as well as an attacking perspective as well. So what I started to do was I started to pick up in terms of just some basic set play stats and looking at the seasons. And I think if you look at the top table, it shows that the total number of goals in the WSL per season and then the goals from set plays. So it averages over 20%. So essentially one in every five is a set play goal from either a corner or a free kick. And I think just to note in terms of the way the data was done is that the corners and free kicks were when the team were in a defensive setup. So it was a balanced setup and they were ready to defend that. And I think what was interesting as well is that from these set plays, again, we can go further around in swinging deliveries, short corners, and really delve into that further. And then when I started to pick up that actually when you break down the set play goals itself, that corners had a higher percentage of those set play goals. So averaging over 70% of the set play goals were from corners. And then if you think from goals from free kicks, there was an average of about 26, 27% of those from free kicks. So a large proportion from goals from corners. And then those goals from free kicks didn't include direct free kicks. They were literally wide free kicks that were delivered into a box when a team has a balanced and defensive setup. So if you think about that from a defending perspective, that if one in every five goals you're going to concede maybe from a set play, you've got to make sure that you do it right. And I think the biggest thing to take into account from the WSL is that there is a difference in terms of the top four, top three teams to teams below in terms of budgets or what that might look like. And actually, if you play a Man City, Chelsea, or Arsenal, you're probably going to defend a higher percentage of set plays more than what you would do against other teams that may be, in your quality range, if you like, if that makes sense. So I think that was just quite interesting to note from a start point.
Yeah, really interesting there, Chris, in terms of the data that you've got for percentage of goals scored from set plays.